Hello, good morning, friends. How are you all doing? Today I want to speak something about the power of communion. The power of communion. Luke chapter 24, verses 13 onwards. You can see the heading there as on the road to Emmaus. We see here two of the disciples, and the story begins. Now that same day, two of them were going in a village called Emmaus, about 7 miles from Jerusalem. They were talking with each other about everything that had happened. As they talked and discussed these things with each other, Jesus himself, remember this is the resurrected Jesus, Jesus himself came up and walked along with them, and they were kept from recognizing him. And the story goes on. They have a beautiful discussion over there. Jesus has a discussion with these two disciples, and as the story ends, at the end of the story we see that their eyes were opened only at a certain point. Till that time they did not recognize that it was Jesus. I am reading the verse number 30. Verse 30. When he was at the table, when Jesus was at the table with them, he took bread, gave thanks, broke it, and began to give it to them. Then their eyes were opened, and they recognized him, and he disappeared from their sight. Here we can draw a beautiful and powerful lesson from this passage, where it says only when Jesus communed with them. When we see the word commune or communion, it says deep fellowship or a friendly fellowship. When Jesus and disciples were in deep fellowship with each other, a friendly fellowship. What is a friendly fellowship? When we open our hearts to each other, it is between you and God. When you open up completely yourself to God, and God communes with you by opening his heart to you. When you pour out your heart to each other, that is the point of communion. That is a deep fellowship. That is a deep relationship with Christ, a friendly relationship. How beautiful and powerful is that? What happened when they communed? Only at the point of communion their eyes were opened. That is, Jesus was magnified. Jesus, the presence of Jesus, they were able to recognize him. Okay. In the same way, if you see in the Old Testament, Jacob in Genesis 33, when he wrestles with God, okay, when he communes deeply with God, when he opens himself up with God all alone, when he is all alone, and we see the same type of deep communion between them, and he is so desperate that he wants a blessing from the man with whom he was wrestling. It is called wrestling there. It is a deep fellowship with God, where he never gives up until he takes something from God. He has a deep longing to be blessed by God. That is the point where they commune with each other, where they deeply fellowship with each other. And then you can see where he says at the end, then the man said, your name will no longer be Jacob but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with men and have overcome. Jacob said, please tell me your name. And but he replied, why do you ask my name? Then he blessed him there. So Jacob called the name Peniel, saying, it is because I saw God face to face, and my life was spared. Do you see that? He saw him clearly, and he says, my life was spared. That means the presence was, he could feel the presence of Jesus there. Hallelujah, hallelujah. When we commune deeply with God, when we spend time with him, fellowshipping like a friend with him, pouring our heart to each other, then his presence will be magnified. He will become more real to you. Hallelujah. So are you spending time with God? Are you fellowshipping with God in a friendly way? Are you pouring out your heart to God? And it is the point where He also pours His heart with you, and you can feel the presence of God, just like the disciples in the New Testament, and just like Jacob, who was given a new name. Hallelujah. He had a new beginning. If you want to have a new beginning, a new encounter, hallelujah, that is the place where you can know who you are. It is the place where you can know who God is. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Have a blessed day, my dear friends.